welcome to our new episode of the NRI series. How
Hi,
have you been?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, all good. How's the weather in India?
Weather in India is good. Winters are approaching, so we are enjoying the time here. How about Australia?
So, we are entering into summer. We have spring at the moment, so the weather is beautiful.
Good. So let's start.
Yeah, sure. So, last time we spoke about mutual funds. If our viewers want to invest in mutual funds, how do they start?
Okay. If anyone, typically a NRI who wants to invest in mutual funds, he'll first need to open an account in India, account to start his investments. So maybe we will give separate episode for how to open the account, what are the formalities to do that. But primarily, it will start with opening a account, a electronic account, and they can open the account without coming to India. So it's how we can open the account for them, and then they can invest the money basically in two ways. One way is if they have a lump sum amount, a big amount to be invested, and the second way is if they have a regular income and they want to invest it on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. It is called SIP, systematic investment plan. These are the primary ways in which they can invest.
Okay. So, which one is better? Is SIP better or is lump sum better?
Yes, I think 90% of my investors will always ask me this question, that which is better. So actually SIP is better, but I will also tell you that when we as brokers we invest the money for our clients, and when they have lump sum, like not everybody will have a SIP, or they will have both ways to invest. So when anyone gives us a lump sum amount, we will not put it as it is in the uh, mutual fund. We will break it into small pieces and then invest it over a period of time. So suppose, for example, someone gives me an amount of say 12 lakh rupees to invest, then I would be putting it into small pieces. I will put 10,000 rupees per week, kind of, or every 3 4 days, and I will distribute the investment over a period of time. So that is what I will do with a lump sum. The idea is to have the different funds purchased at different values, because the market fluctuates, and the average buying price will be lower eventually if instead of buying it in on a single day, we distribute it over this. And this averaging happens automatically in a SIP format. It is uh, that is why I said that SIP is the best, because in SIP you commit to investing a certain amount, say 10,000 rupees a month somebody wants to invest. Then on a given particular date of the client's choice, say 5th of every month, 10th of every month, whatever works for him, the amount would be deducted from his bank and it will be invested in the target mutual funds that we select for him. What happens is, every month on a particular date, the market may be at a different level. So the purchase is going to happen at a different NAV level. So at the end of the investment, his average buying price is going to come down. I will give you an example. Mansi, suppose you have an amount of say 1,20,000 rupees to invest, and you want to invest it, and you say that I'm going to put this on a particular day, say 1st of January next year, 2025. So you put 1.2 lakhs on that first day of the year and then sit back. I also have the same amount of money to be invested, but I don't have it in a lump sum form. So I start a SIP of say 10,000 rupees, and my amount is getting deducted every 10th of every month, and I keep investing. At the end of the year, say on 31st December, we meet and we look at both of the portfolios. Your investment is 1.2 lakhs, mine investment is also same 1.2 lakhs. And imagine that on this day, the market is actually down from the level on which we started investing. So it has corrected in this 12 months, and both of us have made a loss in the portfolio. Imagine that is the situation. If that is the condition, then you would have made more loss compared to what I have made, just because you have invested in one shot and I have not invested. I have invested, distributed that investment. So in a case where the portfolio is in loss, the person who is invested in lump sum sits on a bigger loss than the person who is invested in a SIP format. Suppose instead of loss, we have both made a profit on the portfolio. In that case, I would have made more profit compared to your profits, just because I have been investing at a different level every time the investment is distributed. So this is how SIP helps us to average the buying cost and thereby reduce the overall cost as compared to a lump sum investment. So I hope you got the crux of the matter.
Yeah. So, like you've said, SIP is the better choice. When should one start an SIP? At what point?
Okay, so you should start SIP as early as possible in your life. And second most important thing, we should uh, never look at the index, never look at the Sensex or the Nifty, never look at how high the market is, how low the market is. If you are going to invest through SIP, just start doing SIP when it is possible and just continue it. So, for the benefit of our viewers, let us give them an example of why starting a SIP early in life is going to help you and what is the extent. So let us do some number crunching. What do you say? Should we do that?
Sure, sure. That would be
Okay, so
good for
let
you.
me share my screen now and show our clients some number crunching. So is my screen visible?
Yes, I can see your
Great.
screen.
So I have got a calculator here wherein I'm going to assume that people start investing at different ages. So here I have given some example. There's a person who starts at say 25 when he's 25 and he starts with a amount of say 10,000 rupees. And all of these people are planning their retirement by investing through a mutual fund SIP. That is the scenario. So we are going to look at what is the amount of time he is going to invest. So this person who starts at 25 invests for 35 years. The person who starts at 35 invests for 25. Accordingly, the calculation is here. And because the every next person is starting late, he's trying to compensate by putting more amount. That is what we are looking in this example. So let us do a real life calculation, and I'm assuming that the return on investment is at 12%, which is very easy to achieve in the current scenario in India through a SIP route. 12% is not a difficult thing to achieve. So let us do the first calculation. Somebody who is starting and he is doing an investment for 35 years and a SIP of 10,000 rupees. So he is going to have a corpus of 6.43 crores by the end of the investment period, that is at his age 60. So his money is, the investment he has done is 42 lakhs over the 35 years, and his money is multiplied 15 times, more than 15 times. So let me just put this value here. I will just put it 6.43 crores. And we are now going to calculate that what loss a person may incur if he is going to delay his investment. So that is also what we are going to look at. The next person, he has now got 25 years of investment time, but he is trying to compensate it by doing a bigger SIP. So he is going to just end up with 2.8 crores. Now you see the difference. Now you can see that just by delaying his investment by 10 years and investing the same amount, even more amount, the earlier person was investing 42 lakhs, this person is investing 45 lakhs, his money is getting only multiplied 6 times as compared to 15 times in the first case, and he is making a loss of 3.6 crores in the final corpus that he is going to receive. The next person who's investing only for 15 years, and mind you, Mansi, most people start at this age, at 30, after 35 and around 45. So they will invest and they will say that I have now got my good salary or good income, and they are just ending up with say 1 crore. Now you can see the amount of loss, the money is hardly multiplying 3 times. And the late comers who only invest for 5 years and try to invest now 3 times more than the person who started early end up with a small amount of just 24.5 lakhs. So this is how bad it is going to be, right? So I'm just comparing it with the loss of the previous person, but if I compare it with the loss made from the right from the beginning, then we can see that it is going to be a huge loss. So let me just modify this formula. and look at the scene now. So now you see the person who starts late is going to make a loss of 6 crores. So the message here is very clear that you cannot delay your investment. Start it as early as possible. Even if you have little money, start early. Even if you invest just 1,000 rupees to begin with, doesn't make a difference if you invest early. But later on, even if you invest 1 lakh rupees a month, it's not going to give you as much returns as the early investment will give. So that is the power of SIP.
Yeah.
And just to give you
Um,
an example, before you ask me the next question, I have myself been doing SIP investments for last 19 years. So I just started with a SIP of as small as just 3,000 rupees a month. And the maximum wealth that got created is because of this small SIP that I started 19 years back, not the SIP which I have done in the last 5 years. That is how big the thing is. And just to give you a perspective, this most of my investment was done at an average Sensex value, which is around 10 or 12,000. And today we are hovering around 80 plus. So you can imagine the averaging that has happened in my own portfolio. So start early, do it for your kids, and early age will early to rise and early to bed retires rich. That is the new saying we can put.
sure,
Yes.
sure. Well, what we are noticing is NRIs often hesitate to invest in India. This is mainly because of the documentation and KYC regulations. Do you think these requirements have evolved over time?
Yes. If you ask me honestly, in today's scenario, for an NRI to invest is much, much easier than it was maybe 5 or 10 years back. The only thing the NRIs should follow, few steps I will tell you. First is they should not try to do it on their own through some random apps. Today it's the information age, and there are so many apps and what we call as robo advisories, and they are going to throw the bait at you and you are going to get attracted towards it, but that is not a very good way to handle. I'm not saying it because I am a mutual fund distributor and I want people to come to me. You don't have to come to me, but you have to go to some mutual fund distributor. The reason is it is much easier because this person is going to have a face, he's going to have an office, he's going to help you in person. First thing is that. On the other side of the app, you don't really know who is there. I have few clients who have come to me investing through different apps, and there is no facility in the app to stop their investment. It is so cryptic that they are not tech savvy most of the time, and they can start the investment so easily by click of a button, and then they have to struggle to invest. So don't go through the apps, go through a proper registered mutual fund distributor. There are many in India. And second thing is, when you go through a registered, he is going to do all your KYC requirements. So you will need proof of identity. It could be your passport in case of NRIs. You will need a proof of address of your location and other such documents. So he'll get that documentation done. It's not very difficult to do that documentation. Most of the processes are now online, so it becomes easier. And once that documentation is done, it is going to be easy for you to invest. And the biggest part of going through a physical person, is he will do the handholding for you, because in during this process, if it gets stuck somewhere, so then you will need some intervention. Because I have had cases of NRIs who have moved to a different country, say Europe or Australia or New Zealand, a long time back when there was no Aadhaar in India. Suddenly Aadhaar came, but the status now for the NRI is, although he has a new passport, he has become OCI. On the income tax site in India, the status is showing as RI because he is not got Aadhaar card. Now this thing, app cannot resolve for you. Today I am going to physically help one of the clients who is in UK. I have to send a person to his assessing officer from my place around 200 kilometers. He has to go meet that officer, get his status changed from RI to NRI. So all this stuff has to be done. And probably these are the reasons why NRIs go on the back foot. They find it very cumbersome that these things are not happening. They are not as smooth as they happen in the developed country. So we have to handle all this. So one more thing that the NRIs need to remember is they should have a lot of patience, because India is growing, but it's not yet developed. So there are hassles, there are hurdles. But if you have a capable mutual fund distributor, if he knows the job well, then he is going to make that thing easier for you. But surely it's much easier now, and the getting the information about your investments, having the logins and all that is much easier now. So there's no reason why people should worry. And if they have any such difficulty, if they face in investing, they can always approach us. We are going to share our details in the description of this video. So if you have any kind of difficulty getting through that, in fact, we have a service where we can help you open your NRE or NRO account from India, even when you are not there in not there here in India, you can still open an account. So we help our investors do from that stage itself.
That's great. You've already answered some of my questions, but I was going to come to that question. I was going to ask you, what are the specific things Findas offers which makes it easier for NRIs who are looking to invest?
Okay, so first thing is we offer a personalized service. We will in person, me or my colleagues would talk to the NRI investor. We will understand what exact requirement he has, and we will also help him understand the basics. Many times when the investor is new, he does not have his basics right. He has seen some videos on YouTube and random videos on Instagram, and suddenly he is now curious to invest. But if that is the case, we will help him understand, and we do it in a unique way that we primarily send him some videos which he can share with his friends, family, and he can always have them at his fingertips, so that he does not have to every time call us that what is this, what is that, please explain again and again. So that is there. We will support him for the complete onboarding, right from understanding what is his status on the income tax side here in India. If it is already NRI, then we can open an account for him, whatever process is. Typically, this is the process we will be doing, the handholding completely, linking his bank to his investment account, and finally getting the investments executed. So this is all the background work that Findas will help people to do, and so that their onboarding is with minimum friction and in the minimum amount of time. That is what services we provide.
That's good to know. Thank you so much, Samirji, for sharing your knowledge and letting us our viewers know that there is help available for investing.
So thank you, Mansi. We have been doing this series, and I really sincerely hope that our viewers are getting value for the time they invest in watching our videos. And if they have any specific questions, I would request them to please post the questions in the comments. And if any of our viewers also want us to cover any specific topic related to their investments, or even insurance going forward, they can post those questions and request us to cover a specific topic, and we would be happy to do that for the users. So that's all for today. I hope you also had some learning on this session, and our viewers will also have some learning. So thank you.
Thank you so much.